Da 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 de ya da de ya da 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 da. Hear my voice where you are. Take a train, steal a car, hop a freight, grab a star, come back to me. Fly, only please come back to me. On a mule, in a jet, with your hair in a net, in your towers and wet. I don't care, this is where you should be. From the hills, from the shore, ride the wind to my door. If you must move the world, only just come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me. Beep 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 ba beep 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 boo 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 ba ba dee da ba ba beep beep beep.
Thank you. As I said, we are Chadron State College Vocal Jazz Ensemble. That first tune was a Burton Lane tune arranged by Carrie Marsh. And up next, we have a song that we're going to do for you. And it is arranged by, David Von Kampen. That's the next one. That's right. So we're going to go and do that one for you. That one's called California Dreamin'. And Dr. Schrader, if you can, we still need monitor. I don't think we have any monitor for singers. We'll go for it, though.
All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming on such a winter's day. California on such a winter's day. California dreaming on such a winter's day. Stopped into a church I passed along the way. Well, I got down on my knees and I pretend to pray. You know the preacher likes the cold. He knows I'm gonna stay. Knows I'm gonna stay. California dreaming. California dreaming on such a winter's day. Do, 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 ya do, oh, do, ya, da, da. Do day da do da da do da da do day da do da da do day ya da do way da do day ya. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. If I didn't tell her I could leave today. California dreaming on such a winter's day. On such a winter's day. On such a winter's day. California dreaming on such a winter's day.
Thank you. Okay, so the next tune we're going to do is called Still, and it was arranged by Mr. Jeremy Fox. and it features Zach Henderson.
We still don't have monitor, by the way. I see you guys working, but.
I found a photograph of you and me with our old California friends. A frozen picture of what we used to be way back when. Dig the hairstyles and the hippie clothes. Dig those body holly frames. None of this stuff fits us anymore. But some things never change. Still lost, our life fills the sky. Still a candle holds a fire. Baby, don't you know I still go crazy for you? Look again 100 years from now, when you and I are long gone. Kids in their hydrogen jackets all floating around, while the radio keeps on playing the same old songs. Still lost, our life fills the sky. Still our candle holds a fire. Baby, don't you know I still go crazy for you? Still as a summer sky over an endless sea. Oh, I see the light in your eyes when you are here with me, and you're here with me still. Still you are. Baby, don't you know I still go crazy for you? Do, 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 do. Still lost, our life fills the sky. Still our candle holds a fire. Baby, don't you know I still go crazy for you, like I did on the day when I said I do. Summer, winter, spring or fall, I always will.
Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Again, we're Chadron State College. Our last tune for you is arranged by Carrie Marsh, and it's an Alanis Morissette piece. It's called Uninvited, and it's featuring Joelle Keith as our soloist. Hope you enjoy.
Like anyone would be, I am flattered by your fascination with me. Like any hot-blooded woman, But you're not allowed. You're uninvited, an unfortunate's allowed. Must be strangely exciting to watch the stoic squire. Must be somewhat hard-telling to watch shepherd meet shepherd. But you're not allowed. You're uninvited, many uncharted territory. I must seem greatly intriguing. You speak of my love like you have experienced love like mine before. But this is not allowed. You're uninvited, an I don't think you unworthy. I need a moment to deliberate.
Before you all leave, I'd just like to remind you of a couple of things. My name is Fred Ritter. I'm from Columbus High School and your host for today. We have an hour for lunch. You'll be back by 12:30 for our meeting with Dr. Fox up here. And then also a reminder to make sure that you get forms for the vocal jazz camp, his vocal jazz camp that have been around the building, and also for the All-State, trying out for the All-State Jazz Choir this spring. So thanks. We'll see you back here in an hour.
I'm not saying this in the microphone. Sometimes it just happens that way, you know? You never know. And as singers, you know, it's important to go on feel. You know, you guys know what to do, and you did it. Like, you go on feel because that's because you just have good instincts, you know. But this is that it always happens inevitably. Something that you never get unless you're on your home court, your home system. You never have exactly what you want. And I thought you guys rolled with that great. I mean, that's the way professionals do it. So congrats on that. The literature that you're doing is awesome. Love me some Carrie Marsh, and love me some David Von Campen. That California Dreamin', I haven't heard a group sing that live yet. I've only heard his demo of it. I thought you did great with that. I know we don't have a ton of time. The big comment that kept coming for me was I felt like things didn't always drive forward for me. It was a little, the word I used on here, and I felt really awful using it, it felt a little Midwestern polite. Which, look, I'm from the Midwest. I'm telling you, I'm very polite. You can tell. But as singers, and especially a group, you have such power. I think you have more behind you. And here's the two areas I would really urge you all to focus on. One is the starting of the words. Like, I think you all could do more. Come back to me, come back, instead of come back to me. I think there's more you can do facially to really pop the beginnings of things out here. And that's whether or not you sing words or whether or not you're singing whatever. There's a whole section. The sections, well, actually on still. Da dot, da dot, the da 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 da. That section in the middle. Excuse me. But the backgrounds there, you could really rock out to that section. Da dot, da dot, da dot. Whoa, da dot, whoa, whoa. There's all this lip energy that I think you're like 60-70% right now. 80, maybe 80 at times. But I think you can fill up your lip potential way more. So that was the first area of emphasis in terms of having having less politeness. The other thing is making sure that you don't get bored with the ends of your phrases. Because by and large, and you can especially hear it on Uninvited, a lot of these phrases should drive right to the end. And maybe even with a breath release on a lot of, still, certainly, you can breath release that to death, and that's great. Da da, da da, da da. Drive it to the end. And that's not to say that every phrase does that in your music. But I didn't feel too many phrases actually make it to the next beat. A lot of your phrases ended slightly before the downbeat. And I thought, it's nice. It's just not driving forward as much as it could. And as soon as you guys start really paying attention to the consonant energy at the beginning of the phrases, at the beginning of the words, and then the driving to the end of the phrase, I think it's gonna it's already so impactful, but I think you guys are gonna have that extra level of impact. That was one major, and we could try these things, but you guys know how to do this at home. It's not like, I'm not working with, younger students here. You all can, and Dr. Schrader is more than, he can take this and run with it. The other thing, this isn't necessarily musical, but it's worth bringing up because I haven't mentioned this today at all. Your reference point is especially important as singers, and on a tune on a piece like Uninvited, You've got, you know, a lovely soloist here, and the question is what do you want to do? By the way, soloists, great job, and all together, soloists, we're rocking. You know, I'd love to just take you with me for still. Like, just travel with me anytime a group sings it, you just sing the solo. That's fine. And the, you know, the soprano soaring thing on the earlier, whichever piece that was, California, that's like surreal. So soloists, great frame of reference. That's what I was just talking about. So on Uninvited, what's your name? So Joel's, and Joel, take a better step forward. It's so wussy right now. Like, you're not wussy, but your step forward is really wussy. It's like I guess I'll be the focus. Now for all of you, so you can have soloist focus. Good. Oh, I just don't want her going away saying that I called you a wuss. I didn't call you a wuss. But your focus can be on her, and it probably should be. Or it can be not. It can be down because you're not singing. And so for us to even be looking at you all kind of takes away from this kind of a focus. Again, what I'm talking about here is not musical necessarily. But since you're singers, this goes into how do you get the message, especially on a piece like this, which is so impactful. How do you best get the message across? And it might be that you guys just start down here. One of my favorite groups in the world is the Real Group, this Swedish a cappella group that is just awesome. But you can YouTube them, the Real Group, and check out their performances. There's only 5 of them, but they make your vision as an audience member go exactly to who it should go to. On something like this, I think that there are times when you guys can look to each other. That's, I call that group reference. It's just made up terms I've made up. Group reference, there's soloist reference, and then what else is there? Well, there's certainly audience reference. You can look towards the audience, which is, you know, if you're on this side of the arc, you're looking kind of out here. And then there's a 4th one, which I think you guys could totally, like, awesomely use on this piece, and that's back of the hall reference. So you all just, you know, don't make it dramatic. Don't hurt anybody here. But just at a certain point in this piece, when we want the wall of sound, you know, when that wall of sound happens, just end of the arc, turn outwards, and just look creepily to the back of the hall. It's an awesome thing. This frame of reference thing can totally, like, change the whole dynamic I mean, for the audience. So a lot of times I'll actually pull one singer out and, like, just to see this, because until you see this, or maybe Dr. Schrader can actually, like, just record you guys so you can see what this looks like. It's such a huge change if you do this well. So these different reference points, not a huge musical decision here, but in terms of conveying the emotion of these pieces, you all could totally have the audience, like, I mean, you already kind of, the audience was already loving that, but you could totally have them like, oh my God, that was like life-changing, and it's all based on where your eyes are, essentially. So important, even though I hate myself because it's not musical. I mean, I should be talking to you about music. Solo improvisers on Come Back to Me, and it includes Mr. Guitarist back there as well. Nice job on the solos, you guys. In general, the improv is great. Because it's a fast swing tune, the easiest thing to do is la 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 ba da ba da. Oops. La 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 la. And actually the thing to keep thinking about is getting more 8th note phrases happening. Because it's the one thing that bebop players they love 8th notes and scale passages. Anything like that, and don't be fluffy about it. There are certain scales you need to go to, but you guys have a pretty good. Who are the improvisers on this? The two of you and what's your name? Dan. And Dan. So. So that's great. I mean, what you're doing is great. You have all three of you, big ears. But now start working more eighths in there, because that's where you start gaining more respect. And without the eighth notes, it's just longer notes. And you start sounding kind of pretty, but there's no dynamicism. There's no pushing ahead with an improv solo. Especially on a swing tune like this, everybody's listening. Well, the people who are really in the know, they're really listening for whether or not you can get some scalar eighth note passages happening, that's the tougher thing to do. So that's the next step for you all, and you all can practice that for sure. That's probably more consonant energy, great dynamic contrast. In general. Occasionally on Come Back to Me, sopranos stick out with bright vowels. Come back to me. Now you can either decide to all match the sopranos on those bright vowels, or you can have the sopranos kind of put a little bit more into the E. E. So I goes into E. What goes into A? Instead of A, you want to put a little bit more A, and E. So sopranos, you can use that because there were a number of times when I heard just it wasn't locking as a group because you all haven't decided what the vowel's actually supposed to be. You get it? That's probably about it, you guys. I don't know. Is somebody giving me a time? No, I think they all left. Differences sonically between. California Dreaming. One or two more quick things, and then we'll call it a clinic. With that same thought in mind, diphthongs on, like, for instance, day. California Dreamin' on such a winter's day. There's that double vowel day diphthong. Have to be careful about where is that happening among the group. You might pay attention. Who are the sopranos in here? I know she is in the two. Okay.
On that piece, anyway.
Okay. So you might pick a soprano, and an experiment that I do, I don't know if you heard me talk about this earlier today, is watching one person, matching to one person, especially on things like diphthongs. So in a rehearsal, you'll watch whoever it is. It doesn't really matter who, just so long as you're basically matching your mouth to that person. So otherwise, Dr. Schrader can say, hey, let's unify these vowels. And like, okay, who do we unify to? It's much easier to unify to one person. In a performance setting, then, you'll use that one person as a go-to just to check in if you need to. So that if the tuning isn't locking or if your vowels, you all have big ears. You know when the vowels aren't locking. Or if you don't now, you will. I know you pay a lot of attention to things like this, the details. So when you hear things go a little wonky in a performance, then you would use that one person to just look over to them, make sure your vowels are with them, and all of a sudden, it'll lock again. You don't even have to glare at that person for long. All you have to do is just glance for a quick moment, and all of a sudden, things lock again. That's pretty much. Oh, one last thing. I noticed this, especially in California Dreaming and also on Come Back to Me. Unison versus chords. Your sound right now, you're singing the same amount of sound for unison as you do for big voiced out chords. And of course, we know that we need to put more into what? We need to put more volume into this, not this. This is a pretty good volume. You guys have a great blend. Like, I want to take your blend with me too. Your blend is great, and your balance is pretty good, but then as soon as you go, especially in the middle of a phrase, when it goes to a chord, it just kind of, it doesn't really pack the punch that it could. And I think some of that, besides some of the earlier stuff I talked about with the consonant energy and the driving to the ends of phrases. Some of it has to do with just the idea that I'm going to plant in your head right now to put more volume into this when you switch from this to this, so that those chords pack a bigger punch. Because all of a sudden we have the 10 of you. Is it 10 of you? The 10 of you are split into 4 parts, and we just don't get it quite as much right now. But by and large, you know, I can't remember how many times I've heard your group, Dr. Schrader, but it's only been a few times. Yeah, maybe. And you never came out to Creston or anything. I feel like I've heard you guys once before, not you all, but anyway, I'm so impressed. Keep doing all the nitty-gritty details, which you already are clearly doing. But it's, you know, I have so much respect for Dr. Schrader, and now I have respect for you all. And rhythm section, nice playing today. I didn't mention you all, but you know, I know you're there. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good lunch. Absolutely.